Real facts, real talk, real views across Michigan. We bring it to you. Stay informed, stay true with a bulletin news. News you can use.
Hello, welcome to the Michigan Bulletin News. I'm Marcus Jefferson, your host, and I'm also the publisher of the Michigan Bulletin newspaper. Today we have a real exciting show for gamers, programmers, people who like to get in there and play those games. And Shay, I'm going to start with you.
Yes, sir.
Tell me your passions. I want to know your personal passion and your professional passion.
Yes, my personal passion. Well, I love soccer. I've been a soccer player most of my life. So everything soccer. My favorite team is Manchester City. And my professional passion is helping the next generation get more access to equity and the economic side of innovative tools like video games and robotics.
Great. How about you, Sean?
Let's see. My personal passions would definitely be in the areas of writing, music or screenplays, books, and relaxing. Whenever I get a chance to do that, that would be personal. My professional passion is game developing and working with the frontline community, looking for the avenues to where we can help to level the playing field and really create a stream where there's generational wealth waiting for them to be accessed.
Oh, yes, that's a wonderful thing. Now, Shay, you've got an event coming up later this month. What's that event?
Yes, we are having Roblox Day inside Zapzone XL, where we're celebrating gamers and tech as it has to do with STEM and educational opportunities and economic opportunities in tech. So our goal is to have gamers celebrated, one, by participating in our video game tournaments, but then also Zapzone is doing some cool discounts for their arcade to celebrate gamers, and we're giving away 10,000 Robux. So all the kids know that that's a lot.
Oh, okay. Tell me a little bit more about the event itself. Is it free?
Yes.
What are the hours?
Yes, so the event is going to be October 25th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., and it is free for the entire community. Zapzone is providing a watch party for the video game tournaments. We're doing a ton of partnerships with local businesses, so Eastside Fish Fry are giving away free chicken from 12 to 2, so that's noon to 2, and we are having just a lot of great partners like T-Mobile, showcasing a lot of cool things in tech, and yeah,
Lenscraft.
it'll be yes, we'll have Lenscraft. Yeah. Almost forgot, they have the cool Meta glasses.
Right. Oh, right, yeah.
We can augmented reality.
Those, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a station where people can play with those and get an idea of what it feels like to really step into the next stages in innovation.
So what inspired you to even get into this realm?
Yes, so 5 years ago in 2020, me and a good friend of mine, we saw what happened during COVID as far as we paid attention to stock prices. And when we were looking at all the sectors and businesses, we saw almost every single sector dip except for tech stocks. So we said, why is technology the only, sector that's thriving during this horrible time for a lot of businesses?
I know Netflix was up there.
Netflix went through the roof, and they're doing big things. So what we noticed is that there's something particular about tech that was integral to society as we knew it. And so what we started doing was figuring out, because we had a lot of friends who had small businesses, or uncles, aunts, or just, parents of friends. And it was really hard during that COVID period. And so what me and my good friend did was figure out what small businesses needed in order to adopt and integrate technology. Because we noticed that businesses that didn't shift or pivot during that time were the ones that struggled the most. The ones that adopted technologies that were able to be more hybrid and flexible, those were the ones that were able to survive through what happened. And so we focused on specifically software solutions, so websites and apps, as far as helping small businesses build out a digital framework that it was an extension of what they did in real life or what they did in physical.
You know what? They took me. I didn't even want to get a website for the paper. They dragged me. Now I say Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, the whole thing.
Right.
Those impressions, making the money, those small spots. Just tell the story, get that money, and keep it rolling.
Yes, sir. Right. Yes, sir.
Now,
and so,
I heard that you invested some money in this area. What was that about?
Yeah. So in 2020. I called it Project Bridge. And so it was bridging the youth to digital opportunities, small businesses to their customers using digital bridges, which, were the websites and apps, the interfaces that people were able to interact with their business. So we were focused on creating digital bridges. When that first started, we weren't as focused on gamers, but we were focused on the small businesses and communities. So we connected with a lot of politicians, nonprofits, figured out what was happening in the communities to figure out what gaps existed, where certain technological tools could be integrated to help solve real problems. And so we just took over the last 5 years, time focusing on what was really happening in the real world and figuring out what tools were needed for those businesses or organizations to either grow, succeed, or sustain themselves. So we were, in about 2023, we started doing video game tournaments because all the founders and an initial team for my company were gamers, and so not only did we like competing, we were like, what's happening in esports, and how do we help accelerate it? And so we started doing those tournaments in order to help accelerate the community coming together in real life for tournaments and being able to ask gamers what they want to see for the ecosystem as it grows. And so we were able to get all that information from real gamers, people in the community, amateurs, pros, collegiate gamers, and then we were like, okay, now we need to create consistent systems that are able to help these gamers long term. So I worked with the Lansing School District to help expand their esports teams. It initially was only one high school for the entire district was able to compete the years prior to me coaching. But as of last school year, all 4 high schools have their own varsity esports team.
Oh, good.
So Lansing Everett, Sexton, Eastern, and Lansing Tech. And so going into this year, I'm still working with the district to help make sure that we have a long-term structure that the kids can benefit the most from. And so that is kind of the pathway we took to connecting and creating infrastructure.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question I asked you off camera. For some of us don't when I told you, when I get on a computer, it's to do an invoice, it's to load some stuff for the newspaper.
Yes,
but you were saying something interesting that there's games inside games, and they can create what they want to create inside the game.
Yes. So the beauty of this was a hot buzzword, but the metaverse, and a lot of people used it in different frameworks and about different things to come. But the original metaverse is the video games that people are playing right now today. And so when we're talking about things like The Sims or games like Minecraft, people are able to recreate the real world using these video games and customize it to the most ridiculous extent. And so, for instance, have you ever been to Wendy's?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's been to Wendy's.
Okay. Have you been to Wendy's inside Roblox?
No, that's probably something somebody created. Yeah.
So yes, Wendy's has multiple locations inside of Roblox. And so when we're talking about what the metaverse really is, it is a reflection of the real world, and then taking that steps further, because in the virtual world, you can get a lot more creative. So there's a lot of customization when it comes to games. For instance, inside a platform like Roblox, because Roblox is the most accurate characterization is that Roblox is a platform more than it's a game, because Roblox is a platform for a bunch of games that people love to play, and so.
Well, how young do you start? I just heard you start about the high schoolers, but I was telling you about what I used to do when I went into the schools with the robotics.
Yes.
I know young kids play games, and they take their parents' credit cards and do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Unfortunately.
So, where do you start with your program?
Yes. So what we are doing is trying to build ecosystems for age groups across the board. And so what I was doing with the Lansing School District initially was focused on the high school aged students. And now we're looking to expand what's happening in the middle schools. And so that's the next stage. Collegiately, most universities in the country, in the US, have a esports team, and at this point right now. And so they were quick to adopt it, and a lot of individual grade school districts weren't that quick to adopt it. So it's still growing in the high school and middle school spaces or ranges. So my goal has been to accelerate the growth of that. So working with multiple school districts, multiple universities, and figuring out, who doesn't have a team, what school needs, whether it's, advocacy, funding, or just an infrastructure, an idea of how to start. And so we work closely with LEAP. I vice chaired the K through 12 esports committee alongside Nick Lux, who owns Blockhouse. And we were working solely on, how do we expand the K through 12 esports landscape across Michigan? And so we're able to make a lot of inroads, but there's still a lot of infrastructure to be built and dots to be connected. So that's our mission right now, from the ages of 5 all the way up to 50.
Now, for us who don't know what e-gaming means,
Yes.
kind of explain that to my audience.
Absolutely. So esports is competitive video game competitions. And so it's the difference between playing chess between your friends and playing in a professional chess tournament. And so the established professional platform of esports is just when competitive gaming teams or players go against each other. So the same way a high school football team would go against, Eastern versus Everett, the same way those two football teams go against each other is what the esports team is for video games. So the Eastern video game team will go against Everett's video game team, and we'll see who comes out the winner. And that same fandom and support for your school and energy is what we're trying to create for all the teams and schools.
Now, tell me about the monetization of that.
Okay. As far as, and I was having a conversation with my team earlier today as well, and we were just talking about who is making the most money in gaming. And right now, as it stands, there was just a $55 billion buyout to take a public company private. And that company is EA Sports. They do the Madden NFL game.
Oh, everybody knows that one.
Yes. They do the EAFC, the soccer game. They do NHL. They do a lot of games. They own Sims. So this company, EA Sports, is a video game developer, or the correct term is video game publisher. And so what we are seeing is that the ones making the most money in gaming right now is the ones making the games. And so right now our focus is on not only helping competitive players get opportunities, whether it's playing for a college or playing for a professional team, but we're also making sure that we're giving kids and youth access to ways they can further develop video games and code using things like AI, because you said something important earlier, which was how do we make sure that these kids are developing the games, not just playing them and consuming it. And so I can't stop 1 billion plus people from consuming, but I can help some people at least take part in the economic side by developing the games that people want to consume. And so we are creating bridges like that where they are able to participate in the same economic abundance that the big video game publishers are currently, raking in the dough is a term to accurately characterize it.
Well, Sean, I didn't mean to kick you out of the conversation.
He's the brains behind all
but
this.
I wanted to know what your part is in this.
I'm moving into the development stage, so game development as a creator. When I first met Shay, I didn't know anything about esports, and I had no idea that it was as expansive as it is. And he really pointed me in one direction. He said, well, look, check out the top 10 teams and see what their valuation is and get back with me. And so I looked at the top 10 teams and I was like, oh my God, the number one team was like $540 million in short period of time, 4 to 6 years. And then I looked at the numbers of the first World Cup that was held in Saudi Arabia, and they surpassed in viewers the Super Bowl, NFL in that year, surpassed. And I was like, okay, this is pretty much all I need to know, because I am a business-minded individual. And so we shook hands and we said, okay, what are we going to do? And he was like, we're going to create the Midwest's very first professional esport franchise team and bring it to Michigan. And so, it was a very easy move for me, because it's like getting on the ground floor of the NFL, and you have the opportunity of being the Detroit Lions for Michigan, but in esports. So that made a lot of sense to me and my bank account. And so, so as we continue to go on, I say I write books and screenplays and things of this nature. And Shay says, well, you're very creative. You should look at some of this. And then he started showing me the numbers of what developers do on an average. And it was another easy transition for me. I'm done writing books. So
let's tell a story inside this gaming platform.
And you know what? It made so much more sense when you look at the hundreds of millions of dollars that is being circulated just in one area like Roblox, and what even for me, because, I have just, my mind never stops. So, creating in a space that says it's unlimited and I can go anywhere and do anything and insert anything I want. I haven't slept now. My mind is just continuously, creating more and more. But I also looked at the fact that when we sat down and the other owners of the franchise team, and how we were looking to really be involved in the community and the development of our youth and frontline communities and saving them from the weaponized poverty, if it's okay for me to use that term, it was very easy for me to say that it's going to be a lot easier for me to take a child and sit them down and work out the schematics of STEM with a game than it would for me to take one of my cognitive behavioral therapy books and sit them down and say, okay, well, let me teach you how to think properly by reading this. And so that is, something that we're going to be utilizing as well, because we can take the child and I can still teach him cognitive behavioral therapy just by the way we're designing games. We can teach them critical thinking, conflict resolution, and all of these different skill sets within a game that they don't even realize that they're learning these skill sets. It's no longer
and that's wonderful. I had somebody on the show the other day, and we were talking about various things, and I said, when somebody has not got the first part of the triangle from Maslow hierarchies of needs, if you don't have food, clothing, shelter, what does self-actualization, what does getting paid mean, and it's really weird. I divert for a minute, but I was making some pancakes, and I said, I'm going to go over to Quality Dairy, neighborhood store, and get the eggs to finish this up. Went there, got the eggs, opened them up. One egg was missing. I said, somebody has to really be poor to steal one egg.
Right.
And we don't realize how good we have it, and the blessings that we've had that we don't understand. What it's like to be homeless, what it's like to have to steal one egg.
Right.
And I think you said something earlier, Sean. I think he's number 45 and 47 now. But with a person like that who's that selfish and narcissistic, what's going to become of our society? What's going to become of people who look like us?
Right, right.
And how can we mitigate that?
Right, right. And I think that we found the arena. I truly believe that even what you were saying on making your pancakes, what if you were making your pancakes inside of Roblox and getting paid for it?
Uh-oh, Ray. Here we go. And there's a funny thing. When Grand Theft Auto came out, I said, I wonder if there's any black people getting any money off of this. As many, I'm almost total myself. There's a lot of missing cars. And who getting paid? I thought that could have been my idea.
Right. And that's amazing thought right there. Just your past experiences, if they're nurtured in the right way, and we have the right training facilities, we can take your past experiences and show you how to turn that into a game itself, and then develop that. And now you have just set yourself and your family financially free, because the average developer makes $1 million a year. And that just expands if you add more stuff to your game. But on the baseline, the average developer is making $1 million a year. So imagine if we take that skill set and we sit down and we create an academy and we're working with STEM, and the flip side of STEM is being able to utilize your skill sets from science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and then move it into gaming. And for those who have that ability, that creative ability, and they sit down and they start working out these thoughts that they had, or the loneliness that they had, or anything that they experienced, and figure out how to turn it into a game that everybody else can relate to and want to experience it, even if they haven't lived the real experience. So that becomes an opportunity as well. And the way we said it the other day in one of our meetings is the unlimited is now our reality.
Hey, dreams as far as you can go.
Right.
And it's really true. I was Dr. Zapp at Impression 5 Science Museum. I was teaching people how to make slime and how to make tie-dye T-shirts and landfills and build Lego TC robots.
Right. And
we'd have the wash machine, and I put it through the cycles. We have the lights. Red, all that stuff. We would do the Ferris wheel. We'd have to go forward, backward, all that stuff. But I was the only one.
Right.
I was the only one. There were no other minorities working at Impression 5.
Right.
I don't want that to happen. So tell me about this academy, because y'all got me excited now.
Yes. So what we are looking to do is ensure, and I'm going to put it like this. So in this world of gaming, there's going to be people who make the money. Right. Like there's money that is going to be made. So it's just about whether we are going to participate in it or not. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, instead of being consumers, are we going to be creators?
Yeah, exactly. And so for me, it's more so about, okay, how do we get as many, whether it's youth or just individuals that are interested in being a part of this new wave, how do we get them a direct pathway or system or connection to be able to build this out and be a part of the economic side? So the STEM Academy is about bridging everything from construction to, because there's a lot of first responders, for example, they are, some of them are using virtual reality glasses to simulate house fires and simulate their different exercises in order to train their people better. And so a lot of these technologies, whether it's a full-on video game or virtual reality in general, they are useful tools for not just things to do with entertainment and video games for fun, but they are critical tools for training. He spoke on some of the key educational pieces. So what this is doing is really focusing on paying attention to where the world is going and attaching opportunities or direct connections for the youth that are coming up with either no clue or very little clue about just how much opportunity is out there.
Yeah. So as far as a timeline on an academy such as this?
Yeah, so we've started doing the work. So we have partnered with the Lansing Promise inside the high schools. And even last year, I work closely with Coach AJ. She does the Motivate Me Promise series inside the schools. And so it's a great opportunity where those seniors that we went to last year, they all got exposed to amazing opportunities in technology, video games, and media. And so the Lansing Public Media Center was a part of one of those great experiences. And, we just appreciate all of our local partners, but our goal is getting the kids to see what's happening right here in Lansing to start with, and get them opportunities in these spaces for them to be able to build, whether it's developing a game, a movie, or whatever you want to create. But our goal with the STEM side is showcasing the opportunities in development, in gaming, and in anything to do with programming robotics, because those elements are key to what the future holds.
Yeah.
So that's our goal. And as far as timeline, we're constantly working with multiple schools and the youth, but we are looking at building out the actual STEM Academy 2026.
Oh, great.
Our goal is just working with more and more community partners to be able to really serve as many students as possible and get them great opportunities long term.
Now, before we get off, once again, the place, the time, the address, phone number, website.
Yes. So we are doing the Roblox Day inside Zapzone XL over at the Lansing Mall, October 25th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. There will be video game tournaments. There will be tons of discounts on arcades, $10,000 in 10,000
Robux. You have a whole bunch of people coming out. Oh man,
that's not coming out of my pocket.
but this generation thinks of Robux as dollars anyway, so to them is no difference. But 10,000 Robux are being given away, and we are just gonna have a fun day with the youth and with all of our local partners.
Yeah. Well, I know my son's going to want to come. Do you have a phone number or a website that they can get in more information from?
Yes, the website is G4Glivevents.com. So G4G liveevents.com. And so you'll see the event on the 25th, and then you'll be able to get a lot of information about where aspiring gamers can find local tournaments happening near them, and you can find information on ways to monetize via streaming on things like Twitch or YouTube. So we have a website that not only is showcasing the event, but can give you some information about the gaming world and how to be a part of it.
Well, you know what? This has been very interesting. And I like to thank you and Sean for coming in. And actually, I've got some ideas for you now. I used to be a math teacher at Walter French, and like I said, I was Impression 5. But I can see where kids see people who look like them doing things that they want to do,
Right.
and now they think that it's possible, and they have something to strive. Plus, they've got role models and mentors, and a lot of us didn't have that when we were growing up.
Absolutely.
Very true.
So I thank you guys for doing this, and I thank you guys for coming on the show. This is Marcus Jefferson with the Michigan Bulletin news that you can use, and I want all of you to have a wonderful life.
Bulletin news you can use with your host, Marcus Jefferson. Oh.